Good evening and welcome. You're watching the News Hour Agenda. I am Padmaja Joshi. It's a brand new beginning to a brand new week. But some things, it seems, never change. And one of those things is the constant mystery and enigma that the number of COVID cases in West Bengal have become. Nobody knows. Nobody at all knows exactly how many people in the state of West Bengal are positive for COVID-19. The centre-appointed team, though, left West Bengal today and made a shocking revelation. The state, going by real figures, as the central team has put out, has a mortality rate of 12.8%. Let me tell you what that means in layperson's language. That of every 100 people who are infected with the virus in West Bengal, 12 don't survive. This, by the way, is the highest ever in the country and is 4 times the national average for mortality figures in India. In fact, this team from the centre also had a series of charges against the Mamata government. Basically, they just stopped short of calling them uncooperative, antagonistic, and a state where jugglery with numbers has now become a rule rather than the exception. Now just stay with me for a while, because I think a lot of you aren't really clear on what has happened, what is going on, and where is this charge of fudging numbers coming from. So let me explain that to you very, very simply through 2 documents. And both of them are from the same day, which is the 30th of April. One is the health bulletin released by the West Bengal government. Mind you, this bulletin is released by the West Bengal government, and according to it, the people who have died in West Bengal are 33, people who are discharged are 139, and the active cases are 572. So let me save you the complication and quickly, and there's a small error over there, it's not 579, it's 572, so the total comes up to 744 according to their own bulletin. The second document is a letter that they wrote to the Union Health Ministry. It was sent by the West Bengal Health Department, and in that letter, they put figures for how many COVID cases are there in the red zone, in the orange zone, of course in the green zones, there are none. And when we tallied all of those numbers that the same West Bengal government had given, take a look at what figure came up. A figure of 931, which means that 2 documents from the same state have a discrepancy of 187. Where did these 187 people go? Did they just disappear between Kolkata and Delhi? And by the way, you can totally dismiss this calculation saying, well, the central team is nothing but a witch hunt. They've gone out, they are harassing the West Bengal government, they are targeting them. Fair enough. But incidentally, the same concern was raised by a group of NRI doctors last week. All of them hailing from Bengal, but they were promptly snubbed by the TMC. Today, another 50 intelligentsia and activists have raised the same uncomfortable questions all over again. So the BJP is against the Trinamool Congress, the governor is against them, the IMCT, the central team, is against them. Will these activists and doctors also now be dismissed as interfering busybodies, or will we finally get some answers?
Unfortunately, the ruling party's WhatsApp university and the ruling party's fake news factories were spreading all kinds of misinformation about Bengal. But these 20 teams and where they are going confirms what we've been saying all along, that Bengal, perhaps along with Kerala, is a model to handle COVID-19.
This is being through WhatsApp university is being politicized. All this perception which is being created is absolutely out of place. Like Derek and Sudipta said, under Mamata Banerjee and the entire administration and the people of Bengal are solidly behind. Each and every instruction of center is being followed to the dot.
All right, joining us on the debate, we now have R.P. Singh, National Secretary of the BJP, Onek Datta, filmmaker, who in fact is one of the signatories on that very anguished letter that has been written to the West Bengal government. We'll be joined by Professor Sudipto Banerjee, who's a signatory to the letter written by NRI doctors in just a bit. And we have Tausifur Rahman, political analyst, along with Anirban Banerjee. So Anirban Banerjee, everyone is an enemy. What do you say about what the central team today said? The highest mortality rate in the entire country is in West Bengal. Highest. Almost 13%. How did that happen? Anirban
Yes, for the time being, those are the numbers. Yes, for the time being, those are the numbers. You're right. And that the percentage is highest among all the states in India. That is a point to be considered as well. But that does not directly translate into the fact that the West Bengal government is actually failing on the ground. No, because the numbers of affected people and the people who are dying, these are not always subject to what exactly the health system is working up to. That is not how the things work. But whether these numbers are absolutely right or not, those are something we have to check as well. But considering that these are right, there are also many other key factors that are at play here.
Sir,
and just blaming it on the shoulders of the state
Let's dial back
government.
to 30 seconds. You are saying the fact that 13 people out of every 100 infected in Bengal are dying does not show any failure. What does it show?
No. I'm not saying that. First of all, we have to completely check and verify that these numbers are correct. For the time being, if I consider that yes, these numbers are correct, then these are something we have to be aware of. We have to step up our game. But blaming it upon the state government.
So who do you blame it on?
That is a problem. We want to blame it upon no one.
Okay.
Because the center and the
maybe
state
you should
has
blame
to
it
work
upon
together,
the activists who written a letter.
Sir, it's already 2 months. Sir, I mean, you think you still have to get up? The mortality rate is highest in the country today. I mean, you are far above from the national average. You are far above from Maharashtra, where it is the worst case.
Let me just come back to the mortality rate and stay with that mortality rate for a second. You're saying it does not reflect on the West Bengal government. Let me ask you, Anirban Banerjee, who does it reflect on? If the national average is 3% and the West Bengal mortality rate is 13% almost. Do you know what is the next highest? Meghalaya. It's at 8.33%. Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra are way below you. West Bengal is 13%. 13. 12.7 to be precise.
Percentage if considered that these are right. I'm considering for this moment that these are right numbers. You are getting these percentages because each and every number affected and who have died, these numbers are being put forward with complete honesty.
No, they are not. That's the whole point.
Absolutely,
that this 13% has emerged after the central team said that we are not going to go by your figures, we are going to go by actual deaths. According to you, the number of people dead is still not 105. You said 105 people died, but some of them were just incidental. These are the real numbers the center has considered. And the funniest thing is that anyone who questions is dismissed. Onek Datta, there were NRI doctors who said, we are very concerned. They were dismissed. Now, activists have also written to the Mamata Banerjee government. Why? Why did you decide to write a letter?
No, we didn't write to the Chief Minister at all. What we did, if you check there, do you have the
all of it,
appeal
yes.
which we have done? Yeah, anyway, what we did was that from the time we were very confused and concerned and scared, because from the time this death number started going up and down, when this committee, whatever committee it is, they first said it was 7, and then within an hour, the chief secretary came and said, no, it was 3. Then this whole thing of audit committee came in, and there were every day there were new kind of we were getting on the social media, and then finally the national media, and then the local media, which is pretty much gagged and controlled by the ruling party. They started also, they had to bring it up, and there were discussions. But we are laypersons. We don't know the technicalities. Like we wanted to know what is this audit what is the use of this audit committee? What purpose does it serve? Otherwise, why is money?
Now they are not certifying. Now they're just doing random sampling.
Just one second.
Which is why you'll be accused of being propagandists.
Sorry, can I finish?
And anti-TMC.
Hello? It's gone off. The sound is gone.
So, Mr. Datta, just like the doctors, the NRI doctors, today you'll be asked, why are you poking your nose in other people's business?
No, but
We're doing the best we can.
Directly address the government or chief minister. When these people who are qualified, they are top experts and the top people who, biostatisticians and stuff like that, they deal exactly with these figures. In their own land, they were asked that, why don't you do it? They do advise their governments and they do question their governments, where, say, even one of them I now know, she was telling me that Trump is questioned all the time and, in fact, heckled by the journalist. Here, no one has, dares to ask any difficult question because they'll be... anyway, so what we did was, when this MP, Member of Parliament, she wrote a tweet which was very objectionable. I mean, it was insulting. It had insinuations and it had no logic, no figures provided. She could have countered with logic, etc. So we hear people, the doctors or scientists were one doctor came onto the Facebook and said something. Another doctor flagged off something about the PP, and then he was taken by the police and harassed, etc. So my friends, etc., they were very wary of, all coming together and saying something. Now, these people who are a little far away, they must have thought that, okay, since no one is, and they understand the situation, so they try to basically caution the dismissal.
So why is their concern being dismissed? Why is their concern being dismissed, Tauseefur Rahman?
Suddenly,
and you know what the activists have now said? We, the resident citizens of Bengal, are embarrassed at such a reaction from an MP in the wake of a pandemic. The petty insinuations were uncalled for, diverting attention from the real issues and unnecessarily politicizing the pandemic. Tauseefur Rahman.
Because we need these people. We don't need politicians now. We need experts. We need doctors. We need healthcare scientists. And if you dissuade them, then they'll say that, okay, forget it.
Tauseefur Rahman. And here are people, and one of them is on the panel, says we are genuinely concerned for West Bengal.
No, of course, absolutely, Padmaja. We have to respect all the intellectuals and the NRIs and all the activists who have concern about Bengal. They have full right to write a letter directly to Mamata Banerjee as well, because she is
anything. I'm just a citizen.
I understand. So you're just a citizen and you have a full right as a layman or as a citizen as well, and you can ask directly to the CM of West Bengal, because she's not just the CM of TMC, but she's the CM of the West Bengal and she represents India as well. Now,
which is why your MP pretty much told them that you mind your own business and go and advise the country you live in.
Of course, because she's saying. So
here are doctors who said we are concerned about Bengal, and you said save your concern for America. Don't lecture us.
Undermining West Bengal itself is insulting West Bengal, whereas she herself in the parliament had said that accusing the central government then is not tantamount to being anti-Indian and not attacking India.
Who's intolerant now, Tauseefur Rahman?
Mohammed herself said that in her famous speech.
Sir, this is not
her impeccable accent and everyone was most impressed. But she is contradicting herself.
Okay, fair enough. Onik Datta, fair enough. So you've made your point, Tauseefur Rahman. Who's intolerant now? Governor has been called names. BJP is your opposition. It's fine. You should call them names. Now, what about these academics and filmmakers and NRI doctors?
No, of course. As I started my debate, I told you that everyone, whether he's a layman or a VIP or whosoever, has the full right to ask the CM, because it's about a concerned matter. And I do understand everyone is very concerned. Now, being it Onik Datta or whosoever...
Then why the disdain for them? Why the disdain?
No. No one is ignoring anyone. I'm sure...
No, you're not ignoring. But Mahua Moitra, what she said about these people was nothing short of disdain.
No, rest of TMC, I must say, no one has said anything to either those people or to us, but they did not answer. The letter was not answered.
Yeah. We have to understand. Okay. We have to understand what are we and where are we utilizing the PM fund.
Yeah.
Where is the PM fund is going?
Sir, I am going to do all of that. But first you tell me, what about Bengal? Today you had the central team saying you are completely uncooperative and the numbers are being fudged.
You should listen. And you have to believe what the Mamata government is releasing the data. You have to believe that, just like what Maharashtra, Delhi and
Padmaja, can I comment?
But that is the whole point, sir, that the central team is saying you are not. RP Singh, the central team has called you quote-unquote antagonistic.
Of course.
You don't reply to letters, you don't allow field visits, you don't give security, you do not reply to communication.
No, let me read the last part of the letter written by the...
lonely marathon without a central government.
Can I? Sir, thank you so much, sir. Your question is to me. Can I just answer that?
Every day and every second.
You're still not answering, sir. Why is it that everyone finds you antagonistic?
No.
And why is it the numbers don't match?
See, if you want to create a controversial statement, if you want to create a propaganda with Bengal, you are most welcome.
I have no intention of doing any propaganda, sir. I am just asking you what the center has said. What the central team has said. It's as simple as that, RP Singh.
No propaganda and there is no...
See, I have not sent that team. It's a team which has gone one to North Bengal, one to South Bengal and submitted its report. If they are calling you antagonistic, I can't help it. RP Singh.
Government is saying we have
they don't believe us. Let me read out the last line of the letter which has been sent by the NRIs from the people who are abroad. The last line says, we urge the leaders of our beloved state to lead by science and humanity. The problem is both are missing. They don't believe in science and they are purely believing like inhuman. And then when he writes, their MP writes such slanderous tweet. I mean, shocking. But how can she use such slanderous? And then you are not accounted in a tweet. You are not accounted for, sir. You come and debate here every day and defend TMC. He doesn't acknowledge you also, sir. So this is clearly shows there is height of intolerance against you, against NRI Bengalis, and against everyone. It's purely a dictatorial mindset which is working in Bengal, and they will not accept any truth. They will not accept science, and they are purely inhuman.
So, Banerjee, I have a limited question to ask you. You wrote a letter. One of the people who wrote that letter, it wasn't well received. Why do you think there is a sense of resistance?
Well, is that a question for me?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. See, first of all, I do want to say that it is a bit unfortunate that this letter has been misconstrued as being political. I mean, I completely understand that this is a very emotional setting, and I think Ms. Mitra's letter, I can understand she feels strongly against the letter because no one likes to be lectured by someone in a faraway land with little or no knowledge of the ground reality in Bengal. But as I'm a statistician myself, I'm not a medical professional, but we develop models, and those models actually go on to project and predict the rates. Now, if the numbers that are being provided by the government are erroneous, that is, they are not accurate, then these models are not going to perform well. And in fact, if they pay heed to the letter in an objective manner, the government itself will benefit because the government can actually take action. So we did this in a constructive way, and it is unfortunate that it has actually been misconstrued as being politically motivated. That was not the intention at all. I do want to mention one other very quick point. Contrary to what I think Ms. Mitra has implied in her letter, our community has not at all been silent in pointing out the flaws in the USA, both in terms of the government as well as for other reports that have come out when we have seen fallible analysis. A very recent case was from a very respected university. Stanford University actually published a result that has been massively criticized for the way it has been analyzed. So it's not that we are just being critical or derogatory towards Bengal at all.
So then why dismiss legitimate questions, Anirban Banerjee? You can't say that everyone has got it, is going after the West Bengal government.
No. The questions raised by the NRI doctors from Bengal, and after that the letters that the signatories have signed, the intellectuals and filmmakers, activists, everybody, those have not been dismissed. I would like to point out a major difference.
So you're agreeing that the points that they make about under-reporting and insufficient tests is legitimate? Because that's what they have said in their letter.
Please let me complete. I'm coming to that point. point. The major difference, you see, this kind of a letter writing incident took place a few months back when 49 intellectuals, filmmakers, etc., they wrote a letter about mob lynching to the Prime Minister. What were they tagged as? Anti-nationals. They were harassed by the IT cell. They were given death threats. And here we have got a letter. You have got just a single MP who does not agree with it.
Okay.
You might have objections.
So you're saying they should be grateful that they've only been treated with disdain and not being harassed or not had an IT raid. You're telling them to be thankful for that?
The government has not treated with disdain. Maybe Madam Moitro should have used some softer language. That is fine. I also don't agree with her hard language. But the government did not tag any of these NRIs or the activists or the filmmakers, intellectuals as anti-Bengal, anti-national, anti-TMC. No.
Okay.
They are willing to accept their advice. They're willing to accept their concern. I said in the last program that they have concern for their motherland. We welcome it. That is how it should be. But the stark difference comes in where the ruling disposition in the center were directly attacking.
Would you like to respond to that? RP Singh, just a second. Professor Banerjee, I think you need to respond. You should be grateful that you've not been tagged an anti-national and harassed with IT raids.
I think.
I will be tagged as an anti-national. No.
Are you talking? Look,
yes,
it's childish to talk about anti-national and so on. Okay, anywhere across the world, when we see something constructive, we want to embrace that, and when we see something of concern, we want to report that. It doesn't matter where you live, what your nationality is. This sort of nationalist propaganda and any criticism being labeled as anti-national is very disappointing and childish, frankly speaking, at this stage. If in cases where India is managing well, we are all very, very proud of that, and there's no harm whatsoever in learning from what India is doing. But then at the same time, when there is something to be criticized, I think we should be open to receive that criticism, so in a constructive way.
And since you say that you're open to criticism, now let me ask you, Tauseefur Rahman, one of the concerns raised by this very panel of doctors was about under-reporting. So can you please explain the difference of 150 plus people between two documents, both by the West Bengal government?
No, see, Padmaja, you have to understand. Once again, I'm telling you, all those documents which have been from activists or NRIs or whosoever, you have to respect that because it's a big concern and everyone should respect it.
That's why I'm asking you for answers. What is this difference of 187 from? Where did 187 COVID patients go?
Now you have two papers in your hand which
yes.
from the same government. Don't you forget that the same channel and same panelist, I think RP Singh was there, where they were complaining about Bankura, that Bankura is on a red zone, but Bankura came out to be in a green zone.
Okay.
You know, so you have to wait and watch.
So just a second. Okay, fine. That was a claim made by BJP. I am telling you, both these documents are by the West Bengal government. So either your government doesn't have a clue or they are lying in one of these letters. On the 30th, one bulletin says there is X number of patients. Another letter sent to the center says there is Y number of patients. And the difference of X minus Y, same day, same government, is 187. How is that even possible?
I appreciate your concern, Padmaja. As I told you before also, just wait for 1 day or 2 days. You will get the exact report from the West Bengal government, and then I think you will be satisfied. But with this two paper, you cannot confuse anyone.
I am not confusing. It's your government which is confusing people.
Because they have two papers and no one...
This is not my paper.
But what I'm
this is the West Bengal Health Department, sir.
This is I'm telling you. Just wait for 2 days, you will get the exact report. West Bengal has no benefit and there is no dance show that they will hide anything.
So Onik Datta and RP Singh, just wait for a few days. Sometimes these things happen. You know, 187 patients here and there. It's small change, RP Singh. It's small change. 187
It's not
cases.
there to hide. It's not there is no confusion. You are undermining it by using what confusion. They're hiding it. Their number is much more high. I mean, and that's why she has washed her hand. Then you take care of your own self. I can't do anything in this. And she has assigned it to some another minister.
Whatever is happening, but it has to. It may be some technical.
Sir, it is same. It is same in this time of crisis, pandemic.
You've done everything except tell me, and can we please have that math back and stay with that math for some time?
Yeah.
Where did the figure of 187? Where did those 187 people go? Onik Datta, where did they go?
Do you really?
And nobody seems to explain that.
I'll tell you where they have gone. I'll tell you where they have gone. We have seen, I've lost count, so many videos which shows surreptitiously at the middle of the night, suddenly one ambulance or whatever, they're going and disposing of that body. If they're burning it, wearing those PPEs, and sometimes the local crowds are attacking them. They're realizing what they've been doing, either buried or burned. So that's where the bodies are going. That is, from common sense we can make out. Two things I will quickly want to tell you. One is that it's Tausif. Tausif has just said there were some intellectuals who had written a letter to the Prime Minister about lynching, etc. Some of them are there in this,
exactly,
and they are internationally famous people like Buddhadev Dasgupta and very senior other people who will not there. None of us would put our names unless we really, and none of us, if you can join,
sir,
have a common political inclination. So, and the other ones, they say that the scientists apparently are politically agnostics.
So
these are the two things which I had to say.
Writing a letter to a CM and to the official people is very easy. But you have to know the fact what is happening in Bengal. You people don't trust the West Bengal government.
That, Mr. Tausif, is the biggest mystery. Nobody knows the facts. And which is why these questions are being asked, Anirban Banerjee. Nobody seems to know the facts. Even the same department doesn't know the exact figures.
My reply is to specifically to Mr. Onik Datta. I have immense respect for him as a filmmaker. I agree with him on many counts, but this portion where he said that he has been watching many videos in social media that bodies are being taken and burnt, etc. This is the part I object in. I mean, we all know there are millions of fake videos floating around, and a senior person as intelligent as Onik Datta should not believe them. Rest of his objections criticism are fine, but this is the part I don't agree with, Dada. This is the part I disagree with.
Of course you will not agree. An inconvenient truth, nobody agrees with it, but I'll give the final word to Professor Shudipto Banerjee. Finally, on behalf of everyone who has been raising their voices, Dr. Banerjee, what would you want to say to the Chief Minister of West Bengal? Because everyone, including the central team's concerns or objections, have been dismissed as either a technical error, or as Tausifur Rahman says, in a few days we'll get the real figures. What do you want to tell Mamata Banerjee?
I would like to say, to rise above the political bickering and the ego and the sentiments, just look at it objectively. It doesn't have to be NRI doctors or anything. Talk to the scientists and the local experts in Calcutta itself. We have the Indian Statistical Institute there. We have many well-reputed doctors and others. And just talk to them to understand the situation and do what is needed to basically provide an honest picture of what is going on. See, for example, it's easy to criticize, but I mean, as I think Onik Datta mentioned earlier, that the letter by Ms. Moitro did not have anything factual for us to respond to. If we were wrong, if it is entirely possible that, we are fallible human beings, I mean, it's entirely possible that we were wrong, then please point us where we are wrong. We'll be happy to accept it. That's part of our profession. But when you look at a serious situation such as this, where you're actually trying to implement policies that affect millions of people, then at least let's try to be objective here and do what is needed and best in terms of reporting.
Exactly, and if that objectivity is not there, you will see the kind of scary figures that we have seen pop up today, where the central team says that on the one hand, you have all of India with a mortality rate of just over 3%. And on the other hand, and I want to leave you with those figures, you've got West Bengal, which shockingly has got a mortality rate of 12.7%. The next highest state is at about 8%. Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, they're at about 5%. This is the magnitude of the problem. And we can keep pretending that everyone is out to get us, it's a witch hunt, or we can open our eyes to the enormity of the problem. Only then can we solve it. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, for having joined me on the News Hour Agenda.